Hi again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. So we are building a 3-bedroom and 2.5 bathroom family home in Willow Creek on this lovely 30 by 20 lot, which is just overlooking the river on the left hand side here. I love this lot. It feels like it's been a little while since I've actually built here, but I was feeling super inspired to build possibly like a smaller family home than what I've been doing more recently. If you see my previous 2 speed builds, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is 3 bedrooms. It's for 5 Sims, and my sort of idea for this family was that we have the 2 parents, we have a teen, and then we have twin children. That was the sort of family dynamic that was going for with this. The exterior is it's quite rustic. It's quite realistic too. I would say it's probably more on the realistic side, and it feels to me like it's a little bit different from what I've been building lately. And now you'll see here, I actually nearly made this house pink. I was very close to making this house pink because I've been wanting to build a pink house for the longest time, and it's still on my list of builds that I want to do, but I'm thinking of turning that into more of like a challenge video, because if you are new to the channel, I do speed builds primarily, but I also, for every like 2 or 3 speed builds I'll do an on-camera video where we'll do either real-time building or we'll do like a build challenge. So I'm thinking for like the pink house, I might want to save that for like some sort of build challenge. I don't know. I don't really know how I want to play it out, but before the end of the year, I definitely want to build a pink house. Anyway, as you can see, the exterior structure has pretty much come together. It didn't take me too long to figure this out, and for the first time in a long time, and I mean a long time, I didn't actually use a reference image for this build. I just went in game and I thought, let's just see if I can build anything half decent. I think this turned out okay. It's not, I wouldn't say one of my best builds, but it's definitely, it's nice, it's cute. I really like the interior, and considering I didn't use a reference image, I'm actually super proud of this. So you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Usually, if you're new here, I use reference images, whether that's from Google Images or Pinterest or wherever. But this time around, I just thought, let's see what we can come up with, and this is what we came up with. The interior kind of matches the exterior in that it's got like a dark wood theme with sort of creams and pastels thrown in there, but the really nice thing about this house is that it doesn't have a particular interior design theme, so it's quite realistic in that respect. I think there's elements of contemporary, there's elements of traditional, there's some old furniture. It kind of works really well, and it tells a little bit of a story. I have spoken recently in some of my other videos about how I love to tell stories through my Sims builds, and I think a lot of people like to do that as well. And it's really easy when you have the family in front of you and you've been building the house around their lives. It's so easy to tell that story, but when you're doing just building without actually having the family in front of you, I think it's a little bit more challenging. So I like to sort of think of a family dynamic in my head before I begin, and then I sort of know how I want to take it. Anyway, if you hear some slight background noise, I'm not sure whether you will or not, so it's maybe not even worth mentioning, but I'm going to mention it anyway. I have my 2 dogs with me in the office. My husband has a call outside in his new office, and I'm in our office upstairs in the house, and I do have the dogs with me. So if you hear like little noises, that's what that is. So I apologize in advance if they make any noise. I'm hoping for the next 20 minutes they'll be able to just relax and keep quiet. Anyway, as you can see, we do sort of dabble with some landscaping, like with these grass pieces from the debug menu from Cottage Living. I do remove these because it was just looking a little bit unkempt for me. I think if that's the look that you're going for, I think it can look really good, but with this particular house, it's just not the vibe that I was wanting to go for, really, so I do end up pulling that back. Now, speaking of Cottage Living, you might notice that we're using some Cottage Living windows mixed with some windows from Base Game 2. And I actually really like how these look. It seems like it's been a while since I've used Cottage Living windows on a build. Typically, I'll only do it if I'm building in Henford on Bagley, but every now and again, I'll build like probably a more typical American suburban house, and I think these windows actually work really well. on certain houses. I'm not saying they work with every house, but I do really like the windows generally, so I do think they work in this setting. I do end up changing the swatch of the window on the front. Now it's very minor but it just something wasn't right. So you'll see here, I've just mentioned it, so you might notice that the window paneling on like the shutters are now like this dark teal blue color. I just think it works a lot better. And now this is really funny. So my husband was sat with me in the office, and I'd come back to this build after 2 days of starting it. So I'd built the first part, I built midweek, and then this morning I started to I've started to finish it off, basically. That's not even the right way to say it. But my husband was sat with me in the office, and I was like, I don't think I like this house. Like, I can't post this. And he said, it's really nice. What's wrong with it? And I said, I don't know. It just seems a little bit like a little bit lackluster. And he said, well, don't give up on it, because it's really nice. And anyway, so what he said was, because I was doing like a panel view. What is a panel view? What am I even talking about? Anyway, I was doing him like a shot, like showing him the house. Basically, I was rotating the camera and showing him the house. And he said, ooh, you could do like a balcony off to the right-hand side overlooking the river. And I went, I can't fit a balcony on there. Like, what are you talking about? And he said, surely you can fit a balcony on the second floor. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I could do that. So it's like a mini little balcony. So your Sims can stand out there. They can't do anything, but they can stand out there and take in the views, get some fresh air. And I was like, okay, that actually looks really good. Thanks for the idea. So that is 100% my husband's idea. So pat on the back to him. Anyway, just finishing up the landscaping in the back garden here. There's not too much going on in the back garden. Just as a disclaimer, I typically do not do much with my back gardens because they are my weak point, my Achilles heel, if you will. I'm just no good at them. So we've got like a swing set, we've got a barbecue, we've got a seating area. And that pretty much sums that up. So I'm so sorry, I hope you don't mind, but the house, it makes up for it, okay? The interior makes up for it. And if you are a gardening extraordinaire, then maybe you could do something with this for me and turn it into something amazing. Anyway, yeah, so we just end up finishing this off, and then we do move on to the interior. However, I do use this swing set from one of the kits. At this point, all the kits are merging together for me. And given the fact that we are not able to filter by kit name, like, come on, EA, like, you got to get onto that, because like, it's just ridiculous. I use this swing set from one of the kits. I'm sure someone will drop in the comments like, Rachel, it's from that kit, and I'll be like, oh yeah, so it is. So is it from the little campus kit? Is it from the little campus kit? Or am I making that up? Anyway, this is the interior. It's actually a really nice sized house. For once, I didn't move on to the interior and get super overwhelmed. I was like, oh, actually, I can do this. Now, the floor plan, it could be better. I think if you were looking at this floor plan in real life, it wouldn't work at all. And let me just explain why. So, to the bottom right hand corner here, you have a very small toilet. So that's just a toilet and a sink, hence the 2.5 bathroom. You walk into a hallway, and to the left you have the dining room, and then to the further left you have the living room. In front of the dining room you have the kitchen, and then to the right of the kitchen you actually have a teen room, but you have to walk through the kitchen to get to the teen room. Realistically speaking, that probably wouldn't happen. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an architect. I don't design floor plans for a living. I'm just sort of thinking in my head that that's not very realistic. However, it was really important for me to be able to fit 3 bedrooms in this house, and when I started working on the upstairs, I realised that I wasn't able to fit 3 bedrooms up here. Had I been able to do that, that teen room would have probably been either a playroom or an office. Something like that. But anyway, we do start with the dining room. So this is very unusual for me. I would not normally do a dining room as soon as you walk in the house, as in the hallways here, and then you turn to the left and there's the dining room. But actually I think it works really well. I thought this worked better as a dining room as opposed to any other room, so the kitchen or the living room. It just works so well. The rug is from Growing Together and has very quickly tunneled its way into my heart as my utmost favourite rug in the entire game at the moment. So I do use this in the main bedroom upstairs as well because I love it. There's just something really, it's just amazing. That swatch in particular, the first swatch, It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So I do use that a lot in a lot of my builds. And then this bookshelf is also from growing together as well. Given that the children that live here, okay, so we've got one teen, as I said, and then 2 children, the parents have probably just kept the handprint from one of the babies when they got the like little clay hands done. So I thought that was really, really cute up there. Now, in terms of clutter and decor in this house, I didn't go mad. I'm definitely trying to tone that back because I'm absolutely keeping in mind that you all play in these houses, and I want everything to be as smooth as possible whilst maintaining some sort of personality and maintaining some sort of like custom build. So I'm definitely keeping that in mind a little bit more. And as I was saying, the interior decor style, I love the fact that there isn't really an interior decor style. It just works so well. And this is the living room. Now, we do use the sofas and the rug from the Book Nook kit along with these armchairs as well. I absolutely love these. I do size up the rug off camera because I realized that the living room was actually quite big and I could definitely do that, so that's what I ended up doing there. And then I use this plant from Jungle Adventure, which isn't a plant that I can use very often, or that I don't use very often, is probably more the point. I do really like it, but I don't really gravitate towards it too often, so it was really nice to use that here. The curtains are from Seasons, I believe, in this swatch with like the leaf detailing, again bringing that more traditional sort of element to the build, along with, as you can see, some contemporary elements in the furniture as well. And then obviously we've got like the hardwood flooring and then the half wood panelled walls, which I just think again is quite traditional as opposed to contemporary. And this fireplace as well. I mean, the build and buy that came with growing together, I think we were so spoilt with that. I mean, there's going to be people that disagree, in my humble opinion. Of course, I think we were absolutely spoilt with that pack, and I'm hoping now that The Sims 4 Horse Ranch has officially been released. Okay, first of all, super excited. I love horses. I've always loved horses. I wanted to learn how to horse ride when I was younger, and I was given a choice whether I wanted to do horse riding or whether I wanted to do karate. And because I used to be a little bit of a tomboy, I was like, I want to do karate. So I did karate for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, I think, as opposed to horse riding. Looking back now, I kind of wish I'd have gone for the learning how to ride a horse. But it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, so that's the living room done, dining room's done. Now we move on to the kitchen. I actually really like the kitchen. This is probably one of my favourite rooms in the entire house. I just think it worked really well. The countertops and the cabinets are from Base Game, and I really like these. I'm hoping we can get maybe some more swatches in like a Base Game update at some point. Maybe we could get like I mean, I'm a little bit biased because my counters in real life are like this deep royal blue. Maybe we could get like a deep royal blue swatch. That might be kind of nice. Along with like maybe a deep green and like a white that's actually white, that doesn't have hints of like this weird powdery blue colour immersed in there. That might be kind of nice. Anyway, again, I didn't go super hard on the clutter here because I was still maintaining, okay, gameplay, it has to be absolutely suitable for everybody. So I didn't go nuts, which is again highly unusual for me, but get used to it because this is kind of what I'm going to be aiming towards more with my builds. I'm not saying that I'm never going to do overly cluttered builds, because if you know me and you've known me for a while, you'll know that I absolutely love cluttering up my builds. That's probably not going to just happen overnight. But I think typically I do want to try and make my builds a little bit more accessible, a little bit more gameplay friendly. Anyway, so then I end up putting the the cabinets all around where the counters were, just because I think the wall space was looking a little bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Bare is maybe the word. And I was really struggling to fill the spaces, I'm going to be completely honest. So that's the kitchen portion done. I do put a small, I would call this a breakfast table here in front of the doors that lead onto the garden. It's lovely. I love the vibe. And I also envisioned, can't believe I forgot this, that the family had a pet. I have been speaking about this in my recent builds and saying that, as I was saying, I do have 2 dogs myself who are currently sat at the door waiting to be let free. Considering I have 2 dogs myself, I tend to forget pets in The Sims, and I think a lot of people play with pets, so I do end up adding a pet bowl here with like a little bone rug underneath, which I think was super cute. So my sort of idea for this family was that they had a dog. Obviously if they have a cat then that's fine too, but yeah, my sort of envisionment was that they had a dog. Now we do move on to the teen room here, which is on the ground floor. I love how this room turned out. I've never used this swatch in this bed from the high school years pack before, and this was a really good opportunity for me to do that. I think it's beautiful. I think the whole room, we do go with like a solid blue theme as the core, but then we also start adding like different elements to the room, different colors, and it's gorgeous. I really like it. Now I was thinking while I was doing this, well, this could be an extension on the side of the house, right? No, it can't be, because obviously as you can see the bathroom is there and it's all one wall, so that's just that put that to bed very quickly. But it doesn't matter. It's The Sims. It's all functional. It works. As far as I'm concerned, it works rather well for this particular house. Obviously, if you disagree, then please feel free to change up the floor plan, change up the decor. Like, you know that you're pretty much free to do whatever you want to with my houses to fit you and your Sims. But for me, it worked. It worked really well. So I just figured that the teen being downstairs was obviously more realistic too, because they are older. I personally wouldn't feel comfortable having my young children on the ground floor of the house when I sleep on the floor upstairs. So this child, or this teen, is they're perfectly fine down here as far as I'm concerned anyway. Now they do have a desk here with a computer. So I'm thinking maybe they like coding or gaming and streaming or whatever really. So I didn't really give a lot of thought to the teen in here. I just wanted the space to be really cool, and I didn't really have a gender in mind either. It's not overly pink, it's not overly blue, it doesn't have like a particular theme, which I actually really like about this room, and which is in complete contrast to the twin room upstairs when I went for a really pink theme, and I actually think it turned out really well, so I can't wait for you to see that when we move on to the upstairs. But we are just putting some final touches here. You know me and my rugs. I absolutely love placing rugs in my builds. It's like a sickness at this point. I think if I see like a blank floor space, I've got to put a rug down, or if I see like a blank wall space, I'll put something on the wall, whether it's a poster or a mirror or a shelf or anything really. I need to calm down with all that. I need to like start coming away from that, and I just hit my desk, so I'm sorry if you heard that as well. Do apologize. It's because when I'm doing my voiceover I talk with my hands, which is really weird, because when I do my on camera videos I don't talk with my hands. I don't think I'll have my hands like down to my side almost, but when I'm doing my voiceovers my hands are all over the place. Anyway, this is the main bedroom. As you can see, there's obviously the main bedroom here. We have an ensuite, we have a main bathroom, and then we have the twin room just literally adjacent to this room. So I think that the floor plan works really well. The 2 doors that go out onto the balcony actually go off of the hallway, which I think again is actually really nice. I was initially thinking that could be where the main bedroom was. The floor plan just didn't work out that way, and sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it, especially when you put something somewhere and you can't really move it, which is the case for that balcony. But I think it works really well anyway. So the main bedroom is actually really quite plainly decorated. There's not too much going on in here, and there is of course space if your Sims decide to move in here and decide that they want another baby. You could definitely put a crib in here too, so I think that works super well, because then maybe the teen moves out and goes to university, the twin girls then move into their room, and then the baby can move across the hall. So you can definitely do some rejigging with this house. It's very versatile, at least I think so anyway. And I think for me, it's the interior is definitely where the house is the strongest. But then we do move on to the twin room here. Now, it took me a little while to figure out which bunk bed I wanted to use, but I did land on this one here in the pink cloud swatch, because it matches the pink cloud rug that we recently got in a base game update. I say recently, in the last few months. Look how cute this is. I love this so much, and the beauty with this is that it's not sickeningly pink. It's not too overpowering. It's definitely got a pink theme, but it doesn't sort of make you wince when you look at it, or at least I don't think it does. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, of course. I have done in the past bedrooms where I look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? That is sickly. This isn't one of them, or at least I don't think. And I think what really, really helps with that is the wall choice. Obviously, we just kept the cream and the half wood panel wall. I think that helps so much. If I'd have made these walls pink or purple, I think this would be a very different conversation. Anyway, the rooms are really, really good size, and there's, I believe, yeah, there's like a penguin TV in here. There's a little chair in the corner. I think, do I give them a bookcase? Oh yes, I do. I do give them a bookcase so they can do their homework up here. They can snuggle up and read a book after they've had their tea. It's just a really nice room. I really, really like it. And when I was taking the screenshots for the end of the video, I think this is probably, along with the kitchen, my favorite room of the house, which is super exciting because I haven't done a kids room that I've been really excited about for what seems like a really long time. So this was super refreshing for me. Now I end up cluttering up the walls just a little bit here. The high school years pack came in clutch. I'm just saying, like, it really came in clutch for these kids rooms. So thank you so much, high school years. Build and buy high school years, thank you so much. I think in the recent packs we've had some really, really nice build and buy items. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, just my opinion. Drop me some comments down below. What do you think? I just smacked my hands together as I said that. So if you heard that, again, I'm sorry. I don't know how sensitive this microphone is on this setting. So sometimes you don't hear like stuff from far away, and I'll say something and I'll be like, oh, sorry that you heard that. And people are like, I literally didn't hear anything. Anyway, this is the last room of the house. This is the main bathroom for the upstairs. So my sort of idea for this was that the two girls share this room, share this bathroom, and so that's why you'll see like a slightly childish element to the decor pieces. So the towels, the rugs, and some of the clutter pieces as well. It just, yeah, that was sort of my idea for this room. I really, really like how this came out, but that is pretty much it for the video. So I really, really hope you enjoyed this. But if you would like to download this house for yourself, head over to the gallery and search for my origin ID. It's RachelPedd. You will find it on there. If you'd like to download the tray files, they are available from the description box down below. They are for free. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much everyone for joining me here today, and if you made it this far into the video, I love you. Thank you so much. But you all take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.